My child, this isn't just another message, but the battle cry echoing through eternity. And if you turn away now, you'll miss the very moment I break the chains on your destiny. Every second you hesitate, the enemy presses closer. But if you stay with me through this entire journey, you'll catch the divine revelation reserved for those who refuse to look away. Don't click away. Watch until the end, because the pivotal truth that will ignite your breakthrough waits in the final seconds. I am not speaking to your ears anymore. I am speaking directly into the core of your being, where no excuse can survive, no delay can hide, and no confusion can remain. What you are feeling right now is not just a moment of reflection. It is the fire of decision burning at the edge of your future. I have waded through your questions. I have stood silently during your resistance, and I have carried you even when you rejected my grip. But now I speak without pause, because there is no more room for second chances to be wasted. I am not issuing this as a suggestion. This is my divine interruption, a final plea before I allow you to walk the path you keep choosing over me. You ask for a clear sign, and this is the moment the heavens respond. I have come with full authority, not just to warn you, but to stop time around you long enough for your soul to finally see what it's risking. This is not dramatic. This is divine reality. If you delay this moment, you will delay not only your breakthrough, but your alignment with eternity. I do not exaggerate. I do not bluff. I have watched you sit at the edge of destiny, speaking my name with your lips while keeping your heart hidden behind walls of pride, fear, and self-will. The time has expired. If you are hearing me now, it is not by accident. It is because the next heartbeat may be the last one before everything shifts. Not tomorrow, but now. I will no longer speak in whispers to those who continue ignoring the sound of my voice. I love you too much to let you sleepwalk into destruction. That's why I have cleared the noise around you, silenced every distraction, and allowed you to feel the stillness that demands a choice. Heaven is no longer watching passively. The hosts are at the edge of intervention, but even they wait for your decision. This is not about emotion, it is about eternity. I gave you free will because love cannot be forced. But I will not let your indecision mock the blood I shed. My child, I will never beg for your affection, but I am revealing to you the urgency that is now louder than your excuses. You are either about to rise into a chapter written by my hand, or you are about to walk away into silence, where I no longer shout to bring you back. I am warning you. This is sacred, final, holy ground. Stand still and choose rightly. I watched as you placed my warnings in the back of your mind, treating them as suggestions instead of shields, as whispers instead of weapons. But the time for gentle nudges has passed, and now I roar with urgency because darkness is closer to your doorstep than you know. You think tomorrow will offer you another chance, but what you fail to see is that every moment you delay gives access to the very destruction I've been protecting you from. You've mistaken my compassion for compromise and my patience for permission, and that lie must be broken. Now, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm exposing what fear has been hiding. The enemy is not slowing down his pursuit of your soul. You are not in a place of quiet neutrality. You are standing in the crosshairs of a battle that's been raging behind the veil of the seen and unseen. I'm calling you now, because tonight is the threshold of something irreversible. You have no idea how close you are to the edge of consequence, and I cannot let you keep playing with fire, hoping for mercy to act as your safety net. The angels assigned to guard you have been restraining forces you cannot comprehend. But I have instructed them to pause now until you speak a yes or a no. I cannot drag you into purpose while you flirt with destruction. This isn't just about bad choices. It's about a life that is about to shift into collapse if you ignore me again. I'm telling you with everything I have, The heavens are pressing in. The alarm has sounded, and I am pleading for your obedience. Not because I'm weak, but because I know the cost of your delay. The spiritual weight on this night is greater than you realize. This isn't just another message. This is the crossroads of mercy and justice colliding before your eyes, and I am the only way through it. This warning is not for next week. This warning is not for later. It is for now. You must treat it as sacred, because my warning stops here, and your choice will echo far louder than you can hear in this moment. Choose me. You thought they were coincidences. The repeated numbers, the tears you cried without understanding, the dreams that woke you in the middle of the night, the words spoken by strangers that echoed too clearly. Every single one was orchestrated by my hand, strung together like divine breadcrumbs, leading you to this defining instant. I have been calling you through moments, pulling you closer through discomfort, and answering you in silence when you thought I wasn't listening. You didn't recognize me, but I was always there. I moved people out of your life to protect you. I interrupted your plans because they would have killed your spirit. I sent waves of conviction not to shame you, but to awaken you before the trap fully snapped shut. And now here you are, reading these words that were appointed for this breath, this heartbeat, this very blink of existence. There's nothing random about this moment. The weight you feel right now is not pressure. It is divine revelation pointing to the truth you've tried to run from. I have been pursuing you the whole time. But here's what I must say with holy finality. The signs were never meant to replace your surrender. The dreams cannot decide for you. The miracles I did to prove my love were always meant to bring you to the place where you finally respond, not just observe. You've been shown, told, warned, comforted, and now you must act. This second is where every spiritual thread meets. If you ignore this convergence, you will fall into a cycle I cannot rescue you from unless you cry out for me. Don't wait for more signs when the one giving them is standing in front of you. Choose me now, or be ready to walk the path without my covering. I'm serious. I'm present. I'm waiting. This second has heaven's full attention. You've approached this crossroad countless times before, circling it with prayers that lacked decision, declarations without follow-through, and promises made in emotion, but not sealed in action. But now the weight of this crossroad is unlike anything you have faced, because it is no longer a moment of guidance. It is a line drawn by my authority. I will no longer pull you by the hand while you push me away with your lifestyle. I've been your anchor, but you've kept cutting the rope to chase things that keep sinking. I've been your voice of clarity, but you kept adjusting the volume to hear only what didn't challenge your comfort. It ends here. This is not an open-ended moment anymore. It is a divine halt. I will not stand here with outstretched arms forever while you wander back and forth pretending not to see the consequences waiting for you just beyond the next disobedient step. I am not placing you at this crossroad to punish you. I am doing it to reveal what your indecision has been costing you. You've been calling it spiritual attack, but in truth, many of your battles are self-inflicted wounds caused by stalling where I told you to move. This crossroad exists because you cannot walk two roads anymore. You cannot hold my name in your mouth and carry rebellion in your heart and think I will bless that mixture. I am a God of wholeness, not compromise. I do not anoint double-minded steps. I have watched you ignore conviction, redefine what's right, and entertain voices that mock my spirit. And I tell you plainly, no more. I'm not begging for loyalty. I'm demanding alignment. The war over your destiny is intensifying, and neutrality has become a myth. There is no middle. There is no delay button. There is no future in the direction of rebellion, no matter how nicely it disguises itself in good intentions. You've seen what compromise has done to your peace. You've tasted what disobedience does to your spirit. You've witnessed how fast things fall apart when I am not in the center. So now I speak not with suggestion, but with command. Choose. This isn't about religion or rules. This is about whether you want to survive spiritually. I am your only safe road, and I will not keep following behind you, cleaning up choices I never authorized. If you want me, follow me. If you don't, stop pretending and walk your own way. But understand, I won't protect a path I didn't provide. I'm tired of watching you self-destruct slowly while asking me to bless the destruction. I will not partner with what is poisoning your soul. My mercy is still here, yes, but it cannot coexist with your refusal to change. That crossroad beneath your feet is sacred. It is the last place where both options are still visible. One is narrow, yes, but it is covered in my light. The other is wide, yes, but it ends in silence, chaos, and grief that cannot be reversed. I love you enough to stop talking if it means you will finally listen. So here I wait, not chasing anymore. I will no longer plead when the next step belongs entirely to you. Make the turn now, or prepare to keep walking without my intervention. You think you have time, but the truth is, the longer you delay, the louder hell cheers. Don't confuse my stillness as approval. It's the pause before consequence. If you still hear me, it means it's not too late. But if you ignore this one, you'll find yourself searching for my voice in a season where I no longer speak through mercy, but through loud consequence. This is the most loving warning I will ever give. I've stopped pulling, and now walk not by emotion, not by fear, but by surrender, and walk quickly. The next breath you take is the first step into your future. Which road will you take? I didn't wait for you to be perfect before I reached for you. I came into the mess, into the fear, into the disappointment you tried so hard to hide from others, because I was never afraid of your brokenness. I entered the very night you thought you wouldn't survive, stood at the edge of your breakdown, and whispered to your soul even when your lips wouldn't pray. I extended my hand not once or twice, but again and again when your steps faltered, when your choices misled you, when your heart sank beneath the weight of regret. And still I held out my hand, not to shame you, but to rescue you. But now the moment has come where my hand will not remain suspended in your hesitation. You have seen enough, heard enough, known enough. You are no longer lost in confusion. You are confronted with clarity. The light has been switched on. And the question before you is not about understanding me more. It is whether you will reach back. Because your refusal to choose is itself a decision. You stand in a place now where silence will not protect you. The absence of your response does not delay the unfolding of consequence. I have interrupted your routine for the last time, not to punish you, but to show you the urgency that silence will soon be your only reply if you continue to walk past me like I'm optional. I never forced you. I invited you. But I will not extend my hand forever to a soul that prefers comfort over transformation. This is not cruelty, it is divine justice. If I kept holding out my hand while you run in the other direction, I would be participating in your destruction. I am too holy for that, and I love you too much to keep enabling delay. So now I speak one last time. Will you take my hand or not? Because once I withdraw it, not out of anger, but out of completed mercy, the space between us will not be filled with new opportunities, but with deafening silence. You won't lose me because I walked away. You'll lose me because I finally stopped reaching, and that silence will be louder than every word I ever spoke to you. You'll remember the warmth of my hand that was once inches from your soul, and it will ache in your spirit like a song that used to play in your dreams, but can no longer be heard. I don't want that for you. That's why I've made this moment loud, unmistakable, clear. I'm not just offering guidance, I am giving you one last chance to reconnect before the line closes. Your soul is fragile, though you hide it well, and I can feel the part of you that wants to surrender but keeps clutching the illusion of control. I'm not asking for a perfect response. I'm asking for a real one. Stretch past your fear, extend beyond your pride, reach through the regret, past the guilt, beyond the shame, and grab what I've been offering you since the first moment you broke, because the choice is no longer hidden in mystery. It is in your grasp, and it must be made now. No more waiting, no more second guessing, no more imagining that you have endless tomorrows. I will not stand beside you in your rebellion. I will not keep protecting what you refuse to release. And I will not keep extending my hand to someone who turns their back and blames me for the pain they choose to keep. So this is where it happens. This is where your eternity leans on one simple move: be or don't. But understand that I won't keep waiting for a response that never comes. My hand is here right now, open, but not forever. You've wondered why my voice seems quieter lately, why the signs you used to notice now seem rare, why the air feels heavier around your soul. But what you are sensing is not distance, it's deliberation. I have not left you. I have pulled back just enough to reveal the truth of your choice. Because I refuse to keep speaking when you treat my voice like background noise. You've tuned me out with distractions you now call necessities. You've drowned me beneath the noise of your habits, your entertainment, your comfort zones. But now the silence is not neglect. It's the sacred space where I allow you to decide if you actually want to hear me at all. And it is dangerous to misinterpret this quiet as grace without consequence. I paused my intervention to see what your heart would do without constant reminders. I paused my protection to test whether your loyalty exists without pressure. Because there comes a time when mercy stops chasing and simply waits. I will not shout above the idols you've embraced. I will not wrestle for attention in a place where you've allowed compromise to sit on thrones meant for me. If you cannot hear me now, it is not because I'm absent, it's because I am giving you one final moment of decision. And I'm watching what you choose when no one is nudging you. What you do in this silence reveals more about your soul than anything you've said during loud spiritual highs. I want to see what remains when all the music stops, when the emotions fade, when the spotlight of temporary passion dims. This silence is not abandonment, it is judgment delayed, waiting to see if repentance will rise in your core without being forced. I'm not waiting because I'm unsure. I'm waiting because I am holy. I want your response to come from reverence, not routine. You cannot play deaf anymore and expect me to speak as if you've been listening. I'm not desperate for your attention. I'm waiting to see if your spirit even desires mine anymore. Every delay from here forward is no longer grace extended. It is the weight of your rejection, building like storm clouds on the edge of justice. If your heart still beats for me, now is the moment to prove it. Not with words, but with repentance that tears through pride like a flood. Don't deceive yourself. You have not been waiting on me. I have been watching to see what your silence will produce. Surrender or stagnation. The quiet isn't my absence. It's my pause before the shift. And what happens next is not based on what you say in convenience, but what you finally choose in conviction. Because if I speak again after this, it will not be to call you back. It will be to confirm what you decided in the silence. And if you delay, you will find yourself hearing a sound far more terrifying than my silence. The sound of doors closing that were once wide open. You are not confused. You are being confronted. And if you walk past this stillness as if it's just another lull in your journey, you will lose something no prayer can restore later. I am still near, but that nearness will not stay if your heart insists on pretending that the silence means safety. This is the space before separation, the breath before consequence, the final pause before I honor your free will entirely. I gave you this quiet not to push you away, but to see if you would come close when I'm not shouting. If you don't move now, you will misread silence as time. And it is not time. It is the closing bracket around a chapter I will not reopen. Don't waste this stillness. Don't mistake it. Don't play with it. Choose before I move forward without your yes. There were moments you didn't even realize you were walking inches from collapse, and yet you survived not because you were strong, but because I stood in the path of what was meant to devour you. There were nights when the darkness around you was not just emotional, but spiritual warfare sent to unravel your mind, your health, your very breath. And yet, I placed myself between you and the blow, covering you when you didn't even know an attack had been launched. You call it luck, you call it coincidence, you call it timing, but it was me. And I didn't do it because you earned it. I did it because my love has been your covering since the beginning, long before you acknowledged my name. But now I must make something unmistakably clear. My mercy cannot become a permanent shelter for rebellion. I cannot allow you to misuse my protection while continuing to dishonor my direction. You've made choices knowing they oppose my heart and then asked for my shield, as if I should honor disobedience. And for a season I held back what your decisions attracted. I stepped in not because you deserved it, but because I was giving you time to realize the weight of your ways. But I cannot allow this pattern to continue without accountability. If I keep intervening while you keep resisting me, I become an accessory to the destruction you're choosing. I cannot and will not empower what's straining your purpose. If I block the consequences forever, you would never understand the value of surrender. I didn't rescue you all those times so you could use my grace as a hiding place for rebellion. I saved you so you'd recognize my fingerprints on your life and finally yield. But each time you walk away again, it's not just me you're distancing from. It's the very future you've prayed for. You think I'm being harsh now, but this is the most loving boundary I could ever place around you. I will not keep shielding a heart that willingly walks into danger and then blames me for the pain. You've taken my protection for granted, assuming it will always be there no matter what. But listen carefully. The hedge I placed around you was built on purpose, not entitlement. I'm not a safety net for sin. I'm a foundation for transformation. And if you keep testing how far you can go before grace runs out, you will soon find yourself exposed in a battlefield you were never meant to fight without me. I've kept things from reaching you that were too heavy, too demonic, too destructive to survive without divine help. But now I see you running back toward the very things I tore off your life. You're not slipping, you're choosing, and I will not override your will forever. If you push past the shield I've built around you, I will let you walk, not out of abandonment, but because real love doesn't chain people to itself. You ask for clarity. You said you wanted to know what was really going on. This is it. The protection you've grown used to will not remain around a life that refuses to honor the one who provides it. You don't need another rescue. You need repentance. And I'm not withholding it. I'm waiting, but that wait has a limit. You cannot keep crossing lines I have drawn and expect me to keep redrawing them for your comfort. I'm not angry. I'm finished enabling what's destroying you. I've given you space to change, to return, to surrender. But if you insist on moving ahead without me, then I will step back and let you see what life feels like without the divine delay of disaster. I don't want to do it, but I will, because love sometimes steps away when warnings go ignored. Don't make me step back. Don't force me to remove what you've mistaken as permanent. It's time to choose, not just what you wanted, but who you will trust. my shield or your way. I've done my part. Now it's yours. I will not allow you to keep living as if neutrality is an option. Because in this hour, the fence you thought you were safely balancing on has disappeared beneath your feet. What once felt like space to think, to weigh, to delay, has closed in. Not because I've rushed you, but because time has spoken. You've walked between extremes, trying to mix the sacred with the selfish, trying to balance conviction with compromise, and it has exhausted your spirit. I watched you try to live for me on Sunday and lie for yourself the rest of the week. And I saw how it drained your joy and buried your peace. That mixture you've entertained has expired. You're not caught in confusion. You're caught in a collision between two masters. And I've told you clearly, you cannot serve both. The illusion of a middle ground was never mine. It was constructed by deception, a carefully crafted space designed to keep you passive, distracted, lukewarm, safe in appearance but suffocating in spirit. And now that illusion has shattered. There are only two paths remaining. There is no third. There is no detour. There is no partial discipleship that I recognize. You're either walking into the truth of who I am fully, boldly, without excuse, or you're walking into the arms of a counterfeit that feels right but ends in ruin. I'm exposing the counterfeit now because it's been cloaked in comfort. It sounded spiritual. It looked harmless. It came with false promises, offering freedom with no obedience, elevation with no sacrifice, glory without the cross. But I am tearing the veil from it because I will not let you be deceived by what is destroying you. This is not about being perfect. This is about choosing which kingdom you belong to. And in this moment, with all the noise, remove it. You know which door leads to me. You feel it. You hear it in your bones. You sense it in the unrest that stirs every time you try to settle into patterns I never endorsed. You felt that holy ache, the one that reminds you you're not called to blend in, not meant to be half committed, not designed to be silent when I called you to speak. But as long as you try to remain in the middle, you will stay tormented. That torment you feel, that constant wrestling, it's not me punishing you. It's the weight of being misaligned with the truth. You know my spirit won't allow you to find peace in deception. I love you too much for that. So I'm stripping away the mask from the enemy's offer and showing you what it really is. A lie dressed in delay, a distraction wrapped in logic, a prison disguised as freedom. The door I hold open leads to life, but it requires you to walk away from every voice that tells you comfort is more important than calling. My way demands surrender. It requires you to drop what feels good for what produces glory. And I won't sugarcoat it. It's not always easy, but it's real. And most of all, it's safe, not in the sense of avoiding trouble, but in the security that you're walking with me through whatever comes. You can't afford to gamble with this moment. You've stood between the two doors long enough. The one that leads to me requires a step that will change everything. And the one that leads to deception requires only that you stay still. That's the danger. Doing nothing is a decision. Delaying your response is choosing the counterfeit. There is no safety in hesitation anymore. The light is behind one door and the shadow waits behind the other. And I will not open both. I've given you access to me, but I will not force you. I've laid truth before you, but I will not shout over your denial. It's time to pick. This is not pressure. This is holy urgency. I will meet you the second you step toward me, but I will not keep standing in front of someone who wants both options. Choose the door that leads to me and walk through it before it shuts. You've misread the delay of consequences as a green light to continue as you please. But I tell you now, with eternal seriousness, my silence has not been my approval. Every breath I allowed without correction was not my agreement with your actions. but my mercy giving you time to shift before the line became irreversible. You stand in a realm unseen where the forces contending for your destiny are no longer playing games. The battle is no longer distant. It has entered your atmosphere, and your indifference is costing you ground. You believe that by not choosing, you're staying safe. You've convinced yourself that sitting still is wisdom, but in my kingdom, indecision is alignment with opposition. Every moment you hesitate, you grant influence to what was sent to break you. I have watched as the enemy sowed confusion into your calm, whispering lies that sounded wise but were soaked in subtle rebellion. He told you it was okay to wait. He told you you needed more clarity. He told you to think longer, delay further. All lies, all deeper. But what he was truly doing was weaving a trap of delay so that when the time to move arrived, you'd be so entangled in your own reasoning that you'd freeze when it mattered most. You think the absence of action protects you, but it's the very thing draining your strength. The middle ground is an illusion. Every day you avoid surrender, you are slowly handing over the authority I gave you to forces that seek your destruction. I've placed a divine sword in your hands, not so you could observe the battlefield, but so you could step into it with purpose. But you've traded that sword for silence, that armor for avoidance, and now the war is intensifying around your life. You feel the pressure, you sense the heaviness, you notice the shift in the atmosphere. That's not coincidence, that's consequence. You're not just under attack, you're under assessment. I am watching what you do in the moment where neutrality tempts you most. And I say this in all love. Neutrality is rebellion cloaked in passivity. You cannot claim to follow me while refusing to step where I lead. You cannot wave the banner of my name while remaining unmoved by my voice. This isn't about works. This isn't about performance. This is about allegiance. Who owns your yes? Who receives your response? Because silence is not silence in this war. It is a message, and both heaven and hell are listening. The enemy doesn't need your loud rebellion. He thrives on your quiet hesitation. He builds his case against you through your spiritual inaction. Every time you delay, you agree. Every time you stall, you surrender territory. I've given you more than enough moments to decide. I've surrounded you with truth, flooded you with insight, awakened you with conviction, and yet you sit paralyzed by the idea that waiting is wise. But I say to you now, the hour for waiting has passed. You are not confused, you are comfortable, and that comfort is now the enemy of your calling. I cannot keep stretching the window of grace while you remain in a space of non-response. If you continue in this pause, the cost will not be me leaving. It will be you forfeiting what I set apart for your life. And the tragic part is, you'll still speak my name, but without the fire, without the presence, without the alignment that once made your heart burn. I am drawing a hard line now, not to push you away, but to push you into clarity. You have one direction to move if you want freedom, one decision if you want peace. Say yes. Step forward. Stop confusing my compassion with consent. I've been patient because I love you, not because I support your delay. My patience was a gift, not a guarantee. Do not insult it by sitting any longer. Move now, because stillness is no longer safety. It is surrender to the enemy you were born to overcome. You said, Lord, if this is really you, show me again. But I tell you plainly, how many times must I prove myself before you stop questioning what your spirit already knows? This is not the first time I've spoken like this. It's the culmination of every unshakable thought, every conviction that stirred in your chest, every moment you paused mid-action because something holy tugged at your soul. That tug was me. The sleepless nights where you couldn't escape the thought of returning to me. That was me. The conversations that pierced deeper than expected. The scriptures that found you without you even looking. The sudden tears that surprised you in the quiet. Ah, me. I've been consistent. But your heart has been waiting for something more dramatic, something undeniable, something thunderous. Yet I do not always shout. I whisper through truth, and this right now is the clearest I will speak. You want a confirmation that overrides every doubt? It is here. My voice is not coming from a mountaintop or written in the clouds. It is entering through the gate of your spirit, shaking your defenses and calling out what you buried under logic. You've been asking me to make it obvious, and I already have. The fact that these very words are meeting your eyes and invading your thoughts is evidence of my pursuit. Do not insult my pursuit by pretending this is coincidence. I know how your mind tries to find reasons to delay. You've prayed for more clarity, but what you truly wanted was comfort that didn't challenge you. I did not come to confirm your delay. I came to confirm your calling. I'm not going to keep performing signs while you stay motionless. I'm not going to keep proving what I've already established. If you still need more proof, then your issue is no longer about direction. It's about surrender. I will not compete with your fears for your yes. I won't wrestle with your pride to get your response. This message is not one of many. It is the intersection of all my warnings wrapped in one final call. I chose this moment to reveal what's really happening behind the scenes. Every delay on your part is not neutral. It is dangerous. Your soul is not waiting for answers. It is waiting for your obedience. You keep trying to intellectualize what must be spiritual. You want a blueprint, but I want your trust. You ask for step by step, but I want your surrender before the path even unfolds. This is how I move, not because I'm hiding things, but because faith must rise before sight is granted. And if this moment does not move you, I promise the next one will not be easier. I am pressing into your spirit now because I know what's ahead. I see the traps forming. I see the temptations being positioned. I see the enemy studying your hesitations to strike where you refuse to obey. That's why I'm interrupting everything with these words. This isn't just confirmation, it's rescue. It's alignment. It's holy interruption. It's me blocking the next step until you acknowledge the weight of this moment. I have nothing more to prove. You have everything to decide. And I say this with divine seriousness. You will not get a louder warning than this. You say, I need a sign, but you are breathing in the middle of a miracle. You want writing in the sky, but my fingerprints are on every page of your life. The narrow escapes you called coincidence, the opportunities you couldn't explain, the protection you felt in places where you should have fallen apart. That was all me. I have been painting my presence across your history so you could look back and know, without a shadow of doubt, that you are not here by accident. You ask for a louder voice, but it is your heart that needs to be quieter. My instructions are not lost. They are simply crowded out by the noise you invite. Every time you turned up the volume on your distractions, my whisper became harder to hear, not because I stopped speaking, but because you stopped listening. I never left. I never changed. My call has always been consistent, unwavering, patient, persistent. But now patience becomes urgency. You are standing on holy ground, and I am making it impossible to ignore. Every relationship that suddenly feels unstable, every plan that falls through, every door that refuses to open is not failure. It is redirection. I am not punishing you. I am pulling you. My correction is proof of my affection. I would rather disrupt your comfort than watch you destroy your calling. Stop asking for new instructions while ignoring the last ones I gave. The next step will not appear until you honor the last one. The doors you are waiting for will not open until you surrender what I asked you to lay down. You want the promise without the process, the blessing without the obedience, but I cannot give you what you are not prepared to steward. This moment is not about how you feel. It is about what you will choose. Faith is not measured by your emotions, but by your movement. I am not requiring perfection. I am requiring surrender. Your yes is the only key you need right now. Every day you delay, the gap between who you are and who you are called to be grows wider. The discomfort you feel is not punishment, but a holy invitation. It is me, refusing to let you settle for less than what I created you to become. That ache in your spirit, that restless longing, is the sound of your destiny calling you forward. I see the battle you're fighting inside, the fear of what you might lose if you obey, the anxiety over what will change, the grief for what you must leave behind. I am not blind to your struggle. I am not asking you to pretend. I am asking you to trust. You cannot heal while holding on to what I've asked you to release. You cannot walk into your next if your arms are full of your last. You keep praying for peace, but peace is not found in compromise. Peace is the reward of obedience. The reason you feel torn is because you are trying to hold both worlds. The reason you are weary is because divided loyalty is exhausting. The reason you feel far from me is because you keep choosing what separates us. I am not hiding. I am not distant. I am waiting, arms open, for the moment you decide that my way is better than your way. Do not let the pain of surrender scare you away from the power of transformation. What you lay down now will be replaced with something greater. The sacrifices you fear are nothing compared to the joy set before you. I am not a thief. I do not take to harm you. I remove only what blocks your blessing. I am the God who gives life and life abundantly. You have wondered why the same battles repeat, why old temptations come back stronger, why you feel surrounded on every side. It is not because you are weak. It is because the season has shifted. The enemy senses what's at stake. He has studied your patterns, observed your hesitations, and he knows this is your breaking point or your breakthrough. That is why the pressure is so intense. But the pressure is proof that you are on the threshold of something holy. Do not retreat now. Do not turn back to what I delivered you from. You are closer than you have ever been. The fight is fiercest at the edge of freedom. I am not asking you to fight alone. I am standing with you, fighting for you, but I will not override your will. You must choose. I know the cost. I know the tears you've cried in secret. I know the dreams you've buried, the failures you replay, the voices that told you you're not enough. I see it all, and still, I call you. Not because you are perfect, but because you are mine. Not because you are ready, but because I am ready to do what only I can do. This is the hour to rise, to step out of the shadows of delay, to leave behind the excuses, the justifications, the cycles that keep you bound. It is time to silence every lie with a single yes. It is time to believe that my power is greater than your past, that my grace is deeper than your wounds, that my plan is stronger than your fears. I am not giving you a blueprint for the entire journey. I am giving you a next step. Obey the next step, and I will reveal the rest. If you wait for certainty, you will wait forever. If you wait for comfort, you will miss your calling. Faith is not the absence of fear, it is moving forward in spite of it. I do not require you to be unafraid. I require you to trust me more than you trust your fear. Your destiny is not on hold. It is on the other side of your obedience. The world does not need another hesitant believer. It needs someone who will rise in faith and say, "Yes, Lord, I will go." You are that one. The heavens are watching. The earth is waiting. All of creation leans in as you stand at this holy intersection. What will you choose? Life or delay? Destiny or denial? The door is open, but it will not remain open forever. This is the moment. Move. Now. You keep thinking you need to be stronger, braver, or more prepared before you can step out. But I am not asking you to bring your own strength. I am offering mine. I am not waiting for you to feel fearless. I am waiting for you to trust me enough to move in your weakness. I know you worry about what you might lose if you let go, but you have no idea what is waiting on the other side of your surrender. You are not being asked to sacrifice for nothing. Every act of obedience plants seeds for a future harvest you cannot yet imagine. I am the God who multiplies what you place in my hands. What you let go of is not lost, it is transformed. Do not let shame keep you frozen. I have never asked for perfection. I have only ever asked for your yes. Every mistake you've made, every wrong turn, every fall, I have already paid the price for it. My grace covers your history, and my mercy rewrites your future. The only thing that can keep you from what I have prepared is your refusal to move forward. You are not stuck because I am silent. You are stuck because you have ignored what I have already spoken. You ask for more direction, but you have not acted on the last word I gave. Obedience opens the flow of clarity. When you move, even if you tremble, the path will unfold before you. Stop looking back. The past cannot give you what the future holds. Stop rehearsing old wounds, old regrets, and old disappointments. They cannot travel with you into the place I am leading you. The more you try to drag them forward, the heavier your spirit will become. Let go, not because you understand everything, but because you trust the one who leads you. There are moments in your life that define everything that comes after. This is one of those moments. You may feel like the step I'm asking you to take is small, but it is monumental in the spirit. One step of surrender can change the direction of generations. You are not just choosing for yourself. Your decision will echo beyond you. Heaven is waiting, but I will not wait forever. Grace has a window, and you are standing in it now. My love is infinite, but opportunities are not. Do not treat my patience as if it is permission to remain unmoved. The longer you delay, the fainter my invitation will seem. Not because I leave you, but because every unheeded call hardens the heart. You say you want breakthrough, but breakthrough comes on the other side of obedience. You ask for miracles, but miracles meet you where surrender begins. You pray for peace, but peace is not found in passivity. It is found in alignment with my will. The door you keep asking me to open is not locked. You are just waiting in front of it, hoping for another path to appear. You do not need to see the whole picture. You only need to take the next step. I am not a God of confusion. When you yield, I lead. When you obey, I provide. When you trust, I show you that my promises never fail. Lay down your pride, your excuses, your defenses. Lay down the need to understand every detail. Faith is not built in certainty. It is built in surrender. I am not asking you to have it all together. I am asking you to trust that I do. There is a shift happening in the spirit. This is not just another day. It is the threshold of transformation. Do not mistake the pressure you feel as opposition only. It is also the weight of purpose, the urgency of heaven drawing you to the place you were always meant to stand. Let go of your timelines. Let go of the stories you tell yourself about why you can't move yet. Let go of the idea that your future is safer in your hands than in mine. Every yes you give me becomes the building block of your destiny. You are not alone in this decision. I have gone ahead of you. The angels have been assigned. The way is prepared. All of heaven is leaning in, waiting for the sound of your surrender. One yes uttered in faith can break the chains of delay, can open the floodgates of breakthrough, can shift the atmosphere of your entire life. Do not let fear rob you of this moment. Do not let delay become the story you tell about why you never entered what was promised. There is grace for today. There is mercy in this moment. There is power in your obedience. Rise up, child. The hour is late, but it is not too late. My arms are open. The invitation is before you. Choose me. Choose life. Choose now. Step into what I have prepared. The future is not waiting on me. It is waiting on you. You wonder why it feels like you're circling the same mountain, praying the same prayers, facing the same struggles over and over again. It's not because I have forgotten you or withheld from you. It's because you've mistaken delay for discipline and resistance for patience. You are not in a holding pattern because I have nothing more to say. You are circling because I am waiting for you to move on what I've already revealed. Stop calling this season confusion. It is not confusion. It is conviction. The unrest inside you is not because you are lost, but because you are stalling. You already know what I have asked. You know the step. You feel the pull. You sense the urgency. And every time you pause, you give the enemy room to whisper doubts, to plant fears, to water seeds of compromise. Delay is not neutral. It always costs something. It steals clarity. It drains passion. It dims the fire that once burned bright in you. Every day you wait, you teach your soul to accept less than what I promised. Every day you postpone, you surrender ground that was already won for you. I never called you to survive in cycles. I called you to rise and break them. I know the war inside, the part of you that longs for more, yet fears the pain of letting go. The voice that whispers, "What if I'm wrong?" And the ache that wonders, "What if I miss it?" Child, my sheep know my voice. That trembling in your spirit, that gentle nudge, that holy discontent, that's me. I will not ask you to do what I will not walk through with you. You keep asking for confirmation, but you have mistaken my mercy for indecision. I am not double-minded. My way is clear, even when your heart is not. The answer has already come. My spirit has been relentless, not to torment you, but to keep you from settling for comfort at the cost of calling. Do not underestimate what your yes unlocks. Generations are shaped by single acts of obedience. You have no idea what I am ready to unleash on the other side of your surrender. The moment you step out, you'll realize the mountain you feared was only a shadow. The storm you dreaded will part at my word. The chains you thought unbreakable will crumble when you move. You keep trying to bargain with me, asking for guarantees, wanting me to change the assignment so it fits your preference, waiting for courage before you commit. But courage comes in movement, not before it. You'll never feel fully ready, but you are not moving alone. I go with you. You think you have time, but time is a gift, not a guarantee. The longer you wait, the more the world around you shifts in ways you cannot see. Destiny is not delayed, but it can be missed. You are not at the edge of another chance, you are at the edge of consequence. There are moments that define destinies. This is one. You can stay, and everything will look the same, or you can step, and everything will change. I am not holding you back. You are the only one with your hands on the brakes. Release them. Stop calling this place safety. It is only familiar, not secure. True security is found in my will, not in your routine. You cannot build a future on what I have called you to leave behind. You cannot receive the new while clinging to the old. I am not asking you to leap into darkness, but to step into my light. One step, one act of obedience will open what you cannot open for yourself. I am faithful. I have always been faithful. I will not lead you where my grace cannot sustain you. This is your moment. Heaven is watching. The world is waiting. I am inviting you to trust, to obey, to move. The yes I am looking for is not in your words, but in your actions. Step forward. Break the cycle. Let obedience be the loudest thing about you in this hour. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. My promise remains. My love is unchanging. My invitation stands. Say yes. Not tomorrow, not later, not someday. Say yes now. Do not let another day go by convincing yourself that waiting is wisdom, when deep down you know it is simply hesitation dressed up as discernment. I am not glorified by your endless analyzing, by the cycles of doubt that keep you circling the same decision. I am glorified when you move, when you trust my leading above your comfort, when you choose faith over familiarity. You have been praying for change, for breakthrough, for answers that would make it easy. But transformation does not come through more information. It comes through action. The miracle you're asking for is waiting on the other side of your obedience, not at the end of another delay. Stop looking at what you lack. I am your sufficiency. Where you feel weak, I am strong. Where you feel afraid, I am your courage. Where you feel unsure, I am your certainty. What you are about to walk into is not about your ability. It is about your surrender. This is the moment to choose, fully, finally, and without reservation. There will not always be this holy tension. Windows of destiny do not remain open forever. Do not let comfort, comparison, or the opinions of others keep you from the life I have called you to live. The crossroad you stand at is sacred. One path will ask you to release what is familiar, but it will lead to the fullness you were made for. The other will allow you to keep everything you're clinging to, but it will drain your spirit and rob you of joy. My way is narrow, but it is filled with light. The alternative is wide, but it ends in emptiness. I am not trying to scare you. I am awakening you to reality. I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope and a future, but you must agree with them. You must respond. Your yes is the signal heaven has been waiting for. Do not mourn what must be left behind. What you lose in surrender, you gain back multiplied in my presence. What you release in obedience, I will fill with greater purpose. I am not asking for sacrifice for the sake of loss. I am calling you to a deeper life, a greater glory, a more unshakable peace. This is not the hour for passive faith or delayed obedience. This is the hour for decisive movement. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop hoping that fear will leave before you move. Step into the discomfort. Trust me in the tension. My grace is sufficient for every step, every risk, every unknown. You have felt my pull. You have sensed the urgency. You have heard my voice through every closed door, every restless night, every stirring in your spirit. I am not a distant God. I am right here beside you, ready to walk you into everything I promised. The choice is yours. The invitation is open. The breakthrough is near. Step forward. Now, let your yes resound in the courts of heaven and shake the ground beneath your feet. The moment you obey, you will see that I have already gone before you. You are loved, you are chosen, and you are called for such a time as this. Do not delay any longer. The next chapter of your life begins the moment you move. You may feel overwhelmed by the weight of this moment, but know that you are not standing here alone. My presence surrounds you, my spirit empowers you, and all of heaven stands in anticipation. Every angel assigned to your life, every resource prepared, every breakthrough ordained is ready to be released the moment you say yes with your whole heart. Do not be intimidated by what seems impossible. I am the God who makes a way where there is no way. I open doors no one can shut and close doors no one can force open. What looks like a barrier to you is an invitation for my power to be displayed. Where you see a wall, I see a stage for my glory. Let go of the fear that obedience will cost you too much. The true cost is in staying where I never called you to remain. The pain of transition is nothing compared to the pain of regret. The temporary discomfort of surrender is nothing compared to the eternal weight of glory I am preparing for you. You are not defined by your past delays. You are not disqualified by your previous hesitations. My mercy has covered every misstep. My grace is sufficient for every moment you move forward. I am not holding your history against you. I am holding your future open before you. The time for second guessing is over. The season of indecision has ended. This is a new hour, a holy invitation, a divine turning point. What you do now matters more than you realize. Your obedience in this moment will ripple through time, affecting not only your life, but the lives of many connected to your calling. Do not wait for another confirmation. Do not hope for an easier moment. The circumstances may never be perfect, but my presence is always perfect. The safest place you can ever be is in the center of my will, even when it leads you into the unknown. Say yes, not with trembling lips, but with a courageous spirit. Let your surrender be your worship. Let your obedience be your testimony. The world is not changed by believers who wait for comfort, but by those who move in faith. The time has come. The door is open. My hand is extended. Heaven is holding its breath. All that remains is your answer. Step into your destiny. Embrace the future I have written for you. Refuse to let delay write your story. You are not waiting for me. I am waiting for you. You have felt the tension long enough. You know the restless nights, the inner battles, the endless cycle of questions that echo in your mind. You sense the holy pressure building, urging you forward, making it impossible to ignore that something must change. Walk with me. You are moving closer to the fullness of your purpose. Even when progress feels slow or invisible, trust that I am shaping things in you and around you that will all make sense in time. Hold tightly to hope. Let it be the song you sing in the darkness and the banner you wave in the light. My hope does not disappoint. My promises are sure. My love will always make a way, even when you see no way forward. Continue to pour out your heart to me. Speak honestly, pray boldly, and listen quietly. I will answer. I will guide. I will sustain you. Sometimes my guidance will come as a gentle whisper, other times as a surge of courage or a fresh idea. Stay attentive to my leading. I am always communicating with those who desire to hear. Let gratitude anchor your days. Thank me for what you have, for what I have brought you through, and for what is yet to come. A grateful heart opens your eyes to see my goodness in every season. Above all, remember, you are never alone. I am the God who stays. Through joy and sorrow, through mountain and valley, through certainty and doubt, I am with you. My presence is your assurance. My faithfulness is your foundation. So keep saying yes. Keep moving forward, even when the way is unclear. I am writing a masterpiece with your life, one yes at a time. One day, you'll look back and see how every yes, every moment of obedience, every act of trust, every prayer whispered in faith, became the stepping stones to a life you once only dreamed about. The struggles that seemed overwhelming will become testimonies of my power. The seasons of waiting will be revealed as times of deep preparation, where roots grew strong beneath the surface. You'll realize that nothing was wasted. Every tear watered the seeds of destiny. Every disappointment was turned into a doorway for something greater. Even your failures became the canvas for my grace to shine brighter. I am the God who redeems every chapter and weaves every thread into a beautiful tapestry. Keep your eyes on me, not on your circumstances. When doubts rise, let my promises be your anchor. When fear tries to speak, let faith answer back. When you're tempted to give up, recall my faithfulness. Not just in stories you've heard, but in your own life. Let remembrance fuel your hope. As you walk, more light will be given. As you obey, more doors will open. As you surrender, more peace will flow. This is the way of life with me, a continual unfolding, an unending invitation deeper, further, higher. You are not at the end of your story. The greatest chapters are still ahead. And through it all, my love remains constant, my guidance sure, my joy your strength. Walk on, beloved. The path of surrender is the path of greatest reward. And as you keep moving forward, remember that I delight in every step you take toward me. No matter how small, no matter how hesitant, Every time you choose my voice over fear, every time you surrender your will for mine, heaven rejoices. Angels celebrate when you say yes, not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. Never let the pressure to perform steal your peace. I am not measuring you by what you accomplish, but by the posture of your heart. It is your faithfulness, not your fame, that moves my heart. It is your daily dependence, not your outward success, that makes you great in my kingdom. Let each morning begin with surrender. Let each night end with gratitude. In the in-between, walk with the confidence that you are loved, that you are chosen, that you are empowered to live this life I've called you to. My spirit will give you strength when you feel weak, wisdom when you feel unsure, and joy that no circumstance can take away. When challenges come, and they will, remember that they are not signs of my absence, but opportunities for you to see my power at work. Let hardship drive you deeper into my presence, not away from it. Let every trial become a testimony. You are a beacon of light to those around you. Your yes is not just for you, but for everyone your life will touch. Let your story be one that draws others closer to me. Let your life echo the truth that surrender is not loss, but gain. Not bondage, but freedom. Not an end, but a beginning. Take heart, beloved. I am with you, now and always. Your future is bright, your calling is sure, and my love for you will never run out. Let nothing and no one convince you that your obedience is insignificant. In my kingdom, even the smallest act of faith resounds in eternity. A word of kindness, a prayer in the dark, a step away from compromise. These are not wasted. I notice them all, and I use them in ways far beyond what you can imagine. There may be days when you feel unseen, when the fruit of your faithfulness seems delayed, when it feels as if your journey is lonely. In those moments, remember, you are never out of my sight. I am closer than your breath, attentive to every detail, holding you steady even when you cannot feel it. Let perseverance become your anthem, not a striving born of fear, but a steady resolve fueled by love. The road of surrender is sometimes quiet, sometimes celebrated, sometimes misunderstood, but always significant. Every yes is an invitation for my power to be displayed through your weakness. Refuse to compare your path to anyone else's. I have written a story for you that is unique and beautiful, filled with assignments only you can fulfill. Celebrate the victories of others, but walk confidently in the lane I have set before you. And when you reach milestones, big or small, pause and give thanks. Let gratitude protect your heart from discouragement and pride. Let humility keep you grounded in my love, knowing that every good gift flows from my hand. This is the life I long for you to live, not burdened by perfection, but liberated by my presence. Not striving for acceptance, but resting in your belovedness. Not afraid of missing out, but secure in the knowledge that I will guide you into everything meant for you. Keep going, child. Heaven is cheering you on. Your story is unfolding in my grace, and there is so much more ahead. In seasons when the way ahead seems hidden or the journey feels long, lean into trust. My plans for you have always been for good, to give you a future and a hope. Even when you cannot trace my hand, you can trust my heart. I am working in ways you cannot yet see, aligning circumstances, opening doors, and preparing your heart for more. Let prayer be your compass. Return to our quiet place again and again. There you will find new strength. There you will gain clarity. There you will remember who you are and whose you are. My presence will renew you every time you seek me, and my voice will quiet every storm. When you are tempted to grow weary, remember the promises I have spoken. Speak them out loud. Write them on your heart. Let my word anchor you in every season. My truth will outlast every trial, and my faithfulness will never fail. As you keep moving forward, let love lead your every decision. Love me with all your heart and love those I bring into your path. Let forgiveness flow freely. Let generosity mark your life. Let your words and actions reflect the grace you have received. I have called you to shine. Do not hide your light. The world needs the hope and life I have placed in you. Be bold in kindness, courageous in compassion, unwavering in your commitment to walk in the truth. Above all, rest in the assurance that you belong to me. I have chosen you, redeemed you, and appointed you for such a time as this. Every day you wake is another opportunity to say yes again. My mercies are new with each sunrise. If you stumble, rise. If you doubt, reach out. If you feel distant, draw near. I am never far. You do not have to have all the answers. You simply need to keep walking in trust. Let patience shape your journey. Some of my greatest works in you are done slowly, quietly, like seeds growing beneath the soil. Do not rush the process. Embrace every season, knowing I use them all, both the joyful and the difficult, to refine and prepare you. Your life is a testimony of my goodness. Others will see the change in you and be drawn to hope. As you walk in obedience, you will become a signpost to those searching for meaning, a well of encouragement for those who are weary, a living letter of love to a world in need. When challenges come, remember you are not fighting alone. My spirit is your strength, my wisdom is your guide, my joy is your sustaining power. Lean on me, and I will carry you through every storm. Keep a tender heart. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Laugh often, forgive quickly. Stay rooted in gratitude. Cherish the beauty in each day, even the simple moments. They are reminders that I am with you and that I am for you. The story is still unfolding. My plans are still advancing. My grace is still enough. So move forward, hand in hand with me, with courage in your heart and hope lighting your path. And when the journey feels overwhelming, remember that you are never expected to carry it all by yourself. Lean on my strength. It is made perfect in your weakness. When you come to the end of your own ability, that is where my power shines the brightest. Let go of striving and let me be your sufficiency. Surround yourself with people who encourage your faith. Walk with those who remind you of truth when you are tempted to forget. Listen to the voices that speak life and wisdom, and let their prayers and love lift you when you need it most. Community is one of my gifts to you. Cherish it and give back to others as you are able. Celebrate every breakthrough, no matter how small. Pause often to reflect on how far you have come, on the prayers that have been answered, on the doors that have opened, on the peace that has taken root where anxiety once ruled. Let thankfulness guard your heart, keeping it soft and ready for more of my presence. Stay open to change. Sometimes I will lead you down unexpected paths. Trust that even detours are under my direction. My plans for you are always greater than anything you could imagine. Be willing to let go of what is good for what is best. Let your hope remain unshaken. No matter what comes, you belong to me. My love is your foundation, my joy your inheritance, my peace your constant companion. The journey continues, and I am still writing your story. Walk with me, step by step. There is more ahead than you could ever dream. When you feel the urge to return to old habits or past comforts, pause and remember what I have already brought you through. Let gratitude and remembrance be your guardrails, keeping you focused on what is ahead rather than what is behind. You are not defined by your past. You are shaped by my promise and your willingness to keep moving forward. Never be afraid to begin again. Each new day is a fresh invitation, a blank page for you to write your next yes. My mercies cover your failures, and my grace redeems every mistake. You are not disqualified by your weakness. In fact, I use every broken piece to display my wholeness and glory. Live with expectancy. Anticipate my goodness. Watch for my fingerprints in the ordinary and the miraculous. Let hope rise even when circumstances are slow to change. Remember, I am always at work, orchestrating details, aligning opportunities, and preparing the way. Let your life be marked by kindness, humility, and faith. Walk in forgiveness. Be generous with encouragement. Let your words build, not tear down. In everything, let love be your highest aim. You are part of a much greater story. Your yes today has ripples that will touch lives you may never meet, generations you may never see. Stay faithful, stay humble, and keep saying yes. The world is changed one surrendered life at a time. I am with you, I am for you, and I am not finished yet. If ever you feel uncertain or alone on this journey, quiet your heart and listen for my voice. I am always near, ready to guide you, comfort you, and remind you of who you are. My spirit is your counselor and friend. Lean on him, and you will never lose your way. You do not need to fear what lies ahead. The unknown is not unknown to me. Every day of your life was written before one came to be. I go before you to prepare the way, and I come behind you to protect what matters most. Rest in my sovereignty. Trust in my timing. When you feel weary, let rest become worship. Give yourself permission to pause, to breathe, to receive my love afresh. You are not defined by your productivity or performance, but by your identity as my beloved. In stillness, you will hear my reassurance. In quiet, you will sense my nearness. Let hope be your lens, faith your shield, and love your banner. As you live each day surrendered to me, your life will become a beacon of light and a testimony to my goodness. No matter what trials come, remember, you are an overcomer because I have already overcome. Victory is your inheritance, peace is your gift, and joy is your strength. The world may shake, but my promise stands unshaken. Keep moving forward, one step, one prayer, one yes at a time. Your journey is precious to me, and I delight in every moment you choose to walk with me. There will be seasons when answers seem slow in coming and the way ahead appears hidden. In those times, trust that I am teaching you to rely not on outcomes, but on me. Faith is built in the waiting. Character is formed in the unseen. And intimacy with me grows when you seek me for who I am, not just for what I can do. Remember, nothing can separate you from my love. Not fear, not failure, not even your doubts. My love is steadfast through every high and every low. When your own faith feels small, lean on my faithfulness. I am holding you together, carrying you forward, and working all things for your good. Continue to make space for wonder. See the beauty I've woven into your days. Let awe and gratitude fill your heart as you notice the small gifts: sunrise, laughter, unexpected kindness, peace that passes understanding. I am with you in every detail, inviting you to enjoy the journey, not just rush to the destination. Trust that your story matters. My beloved, as you step away from this sacred moment, remember, the truth you've heard here is a seed I've planted in your heart, and every time you return, I will water it with fresh revelation and power. So don't let this be a one-time encounter. Subscribe now and ring the bell that you might come back and receive what heaven has prepared for your next step. Share in the comments how this word has stirred you, for your story will fan the flames of faith in others and draw them into the warmth of divine purpose. Then watch the next video. There, I'll unveil the hidden keys to walking in victory every day, so you won't miss the crucial insight waiting in its closing moments. Return often, dear child, for each message is a door into deeper intimacy with me. Together, we'll uncover what I've scripted for your life, one breakthrough at a time. Amen.